Hi everyone, welcome back. So today let's see what Internet of Things is, which is usually called as IoT. So let's see first what thing is. So one of the thing we can take in the IoT world is our smartwatch, right? So for for ease of explain, I'll put a box. This can be your Apple or Redmi smartwatch. So why we say it as smart is that it can do some things intelligently, right? So within this box, there should be certain things that makes it intelligent, right? So I'll make the box a bit larger so that we can put some intelligence into it, right? So like in any device, there is a hardware. Hardware is nothing but the storage, the processing power, and those things come under hardware. And then there is a intelligence layer called software. And these two things are there in any computer or any device, right? There is a hardware to get storage, processing power, etc., and there is a software that does some intelligent things using hardware. But in IoT there is one extra thing usually within the devices, which is the core part of IoT, is the sensors. Right? So what sensors do is to collect data from where this IoT device or thing is located. For example, if you are wearing a smartwatch in your hand, it captures the sensor, captures the heart rate. For example, using the pulse or something, it can capture temperature, right? Those things are captured using sensors. Okay, now the temperature is getting calculated using the sensor, and the software can display that to your screen, and the temperature data can be stored in your hardware. This is cool, right? So everything is good here. So why do we need the internet part? So over time we developed so that we can achieve more intelligence based on the data collected from the sensor. For example, if sensor is tracking your heart rate probably for a month or something, nowadays the smartwatch will tell you or suggest you exercises and diet based on your heart rate and those things. So in order to do that, the software and hardware present in the device are limited, because you know that the watch is pretty small. This applies to all the use cases based on the different workflows, that whatever thing that is present in a particular place usually comes with the software and hardware restrictions. So you cannot keep updating the hardware, you cannot keep on improving the storage, because watch is a small thing. And then software also, once the company sells you the application, they cannot come to your house and keep on updating the software to improve its intelligence. So when we had the need to improve the intelligence that is made on the top of the data, so we introduced a component called cloud. I've already talked about it in another video, where cloud is like a data center or a building where large computers are placed with an enormous amount of processing power and storage, right? So we decided that, okay, now this is limited, so let me get the data from the sensors and process it here so that I can give more intelligence on top of this data. So this is where internet comes into the picture. So whatever data is collected in the device from your smartwatch to reach the cloud, where Apple or Redmi have a lot of computers where it can process the data, for example your heart rate, and run a lot of algorithms to decide which exercise or which diet plan is suitable for you. For that, this data needs to go into the cloud of Apple or Redmi. So this is where internet comes into picture. So you can see that data is traveling from here to here. So it is very important that this communication is secure, because it all has very important data. It can be business critical information in some other workflow, but here it has your health information, which is very high importance, as well as it needs to be maintained in a very private manner, right? So this communication needs to be very secure. So that is the one of the important feature or the consideration when someone builds an IoT system. So it needs to travel securely from the sensor to the cloud. So there are a lot of protocols. As I mentioned, protocol is a set of rules by which usually two systems communicate in the internet. One of such protocol is MQTT. In case you are inquisitive, you can go and search on it. But the other thing I wanted to talk is, okay, now the data reached here. Apple and Redmi have processed the information. Now it is also important that that decision, or for example, what is your heart rate average in the last 1 month? So that data, or it decides that, okay, I need to update this software so that it can perform more efficiently, or it can perform more securely. So that is another communication channel where it comes from cloud to your device. So this also comes via internet, and this also needs to be secure. So this is usually called, this channel where the data goes from here to cloud is usually called telemetry. And the data or the command that comes from cloud to edge is usually called command response. Need not be always command, it can just transfer some data as well, but usually it is like cloud issuing a command saying that, okay, behave in this way, update the software, or give the user this particular thing as the response. So yeah, that is pretty much it with the IoT. So there is a edge device. Usually this part of the architecture is called edge, which has its own intelligence and hardware as well, but it's just that since it is small and it is located in areas where it is actually implemented, there is a restriction on it. So in that case, what we do, we get the data from the sensors, go to the cloud, do all the powerful processing, and send back the data to the edge. So this keeps on improving with respect to the power and how much intelligence can be put in the edge. So it comes with the cost. So there is a lot of trade-offs on how different workflows handle it, but this is pretty much it. Yeah, let's meet in a different topic. Thank you so much. See you.